Alrighty.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Career Force's virtual career fair for Monday, November 30th. So glad to have everyone on the call. Getting started, please sign in on the attendance form that I have posted in the Q&A, and I'll repost that in just a minute too, so it's definitely on the top of the Q&A area. Please turn on closed captionings in English, Thai, Spanish, Arabic, Hmong, if that assists you. And think of your questions going forward and post them in the Q&A. And then after each presenter gets a little bit of time to talk about their company and great place to work, then I will read off some of the questions and get some of those answers for you. So we welcome you today to the virtual career fair. I'm pleased to welcome 5 different companies: Elite and Sears Aircraft, 2 companies from the Duluth Superior area. 22nd Century Technologies, their healthcare division. They're in Richfield area and across the metro. And then General Mills and Westapp from the Chanhassen, Minnesota area. So welcome to everyone here. I'd like to get started, kick everything off by inviting Troy Roche from Elite to talk more about the company. Welcome, Troy.
Thanks a lot, Liz. Sure appreciate being part of today's event, and really think that it's a great thing that you and Career Force are doing, so we're happy to be part of it. I can't see the presentation, so I assume that the first slide is up there with a little picture of the wind turbines.
Yep, and just go ahead and say next, and I'll keep on advancing the slides.
Okay, terrific, thanks. So as Liz said, my name is Troy Rash, and I am I'm the lead of the compensation and talent acquisition areas at Elite and Minnesota Power. And I'll get into what the differences between those 2 companies in a minute here. A lot of people struggle with that, but I'm a living testament to some of the advantages of working at Elite. I've been there 14 years, and I'm just now starting to cut my teeth. I think we have a lot of very long tenured employees, people that start to work and stay with their entire careers at our company, and I'll get into why that is in a minute here. So if we want to advance to the next slide there, please, Liz, that'd be great. So we get into what is and who is Elite. It's a business mix consisting of energy companies, and so Elite has the companies you can see on the screen there. Minnesota Power is the biggest, and then Superior Water, Light and Power is a utility company that works out of Superior, Wisconsin, which is right across the river from Duluth, Minnesota, where we're located, where our headquarters are located. Also, Elite Clean Energy is a company that started back in, I think it was 2009-ish, and that's been focusing primarily on wind power, but as well as other renewable projects. And then we've got BNI Energy, which is the sole owner-operator of BNI Coal, which is a lignite coal mine in North Dakota. So we've got a mix there. One of the thing I skipped over was ATC, which is the American Transmission Company, and there's no actual employees that work for that. That's rather a consortium of energy companies that own some transmission assets, power lines, and that type of thing. Won't bore you too much of that. But so the Minnesota Power, Superior Water, Light and Power, Elite Clean Energy, BNI, those are the companies that that we hire for. All in, I think we've got about 1,600-ish employees. With the bulk of them working for the Minnesota Power and SWMP, about 1,100 or so there. So what we do is we generate, we distribute, and transmit energy, right? And so the generation can be from a variety of different sources. Right now, we've got some coal burning plants that are up in the Grand Rapids region, and those are primarily powering our big industrial customers, which are the taconite mines and the mills up there. We've also got a couple of large logging customers. So those take a ton of power, and they need it all the time. Those machines cannot turn off. So we've been focusing a lot on wind and solar generation as of late, but the reality is there's a lot of things that have to provide reliable power, and we still get that from those methods. So exciting things that the company's been working on lately are a lot of the renewable projects from Elite Clean Energy, but also there's some projects that Minnesota Power's been involved in. The biggest one now is a transmission line that comes down from Canada. It's actually really cool. Canada has a ton of hydropower, a lot of rivers, and and it's not just like you can make hydropower out of every river. A lot of good hydro rivers, so you got to have the right amount of rise run, and they can generate a ton of electricity up there. So we've got a setup that's going to allow us to draw power from North Dakota and our wind assets when the wind is blowing, and then we can kind of slow down the hydropower because the way the dams work there, it almost works like a little battery. And then when the wind stops blowing, they release more hydropower, and so it's really cool mix of renewable stuff. There's a lot of fun things that are going on with the companies. So with that in mind, if we want to go ahead and jump to the next slide there, try to keep this as brief as I can, Liz. So this one says employment opportunities. So when we go and post for jobs, I'll be frank, we don't have a ton of jobs posted at any given time, but we do a lot of revolving positions. So our available open jobs change often. So the one thing I would say is, if you're interested in looking at a career with Elite, go to elite.com/careers, and we post all of our jobs to the Minnesota, used to be Minnesota Workforce site. Liz, I'm probably getting that wrong, but the state site, that's what we affectionately call it, and those go up to.
Yeah, on minnesotaworks.net.
Yep.
Okay.
And then those those get scrubbed by Indeed, and so it's tough to miss a job if we've got it posted, but where you'll actually apply for it is going to be at elite.com/careers, and that's where you can see what's currently posted and the locations that they're posted in. So I kind of glossed over the location piece, but like I said, primarily the corporate positions are in the Duluth Superior area, but we also have locations, primarily wind sites, in 5 different states. We've got them in North Dakota, Iowa, Pennsylvania, Oregon, and Oklahoma. And we've got them in Minnesota too, so I guess technically 6. So a lot of wind generation, and there's administration and technician positions that are really hot right now that are in high demand as well. So those are big ones that we see propping up a lot of the time. But like I said, we don't typically post for positions where we just say like, oh, we're going to try to fill something, and we lay it out there for a 2-month period. Generally, they pop up for 2 weeks, maybe 3 on the site, and we are in a kind of a unique and in a nice situation where we get a slate of good applicants. So that's usually enough to continue on with that, and then we roll over. We've got really low turnover at the company, less than 2%. So when these things open up, it's really for for the career. So happy to answer any questions specifically about any of the employment opportunities that we've got open right now, or ones that we typically have open. I think that we're going to have a webinar directly after this program at 3:30. So the WebEx information's all set for that. You can just call in if you want to. Otherwise, you can sign in through the web, and we'll have a couple of other things to look at. But moving right along from the employment opportunities, then if you want to skip forward one, Liz, I think this is the 4th slide. It has the 6-sided shape in the in the center there.
Sure.
Just going to talk.
Just in the sake of time, too, I'll ask you a couple questions coming in.
Yeah,
are
sure.
any of your jobs at Elite fully remote?
I'm sorry, say that one again.
Do you have any jobs that are completely remote work right now?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, so actually right now I would say 50-odd% of our jobs are remote, right? So we have essential workers that need to be in the plant or physically on location. So those types of jobs, which are typically collective bargaining jobs, or like I said, more hands-on jobs. Those are in the plants. But really, there's about 50% of our jobs are remote. And after presuming things start calming down after COVID and vaccinations and all that good stuff, when they become safe to come back to work, I think we're going to end up in a situation where we're going to have quite a bit more flexibility for remote work in general. So that's a great question. So yeah, it's definitely something that we're promoting.
Good. And then the other question coming in is, will you be posting any opportunities for entry-level electrical engineers?
That's a great question. Yeah, so I think that our engineer jobs are probably one of the most common ones that pop up. And of course, we're partial to EEs or electrical engineers because that's our business, right? So right now, I don't think there's any engineering positions posted. I cut that slide Friday, and I don't think anything else has gone up, but those happen quite often. So that's another thing where I'd say, let's just check the site, check Indeed, and I would say every couple of weeks, and we'll probably have one here in the next 4 or 6 weeks, I'm guessing.
Good. Yeah, we're going to have to go on, wrap up your segment here. But I just want to make sure that everyone sees the slides here. Troy, I want to confirm, I didn't catch this sooner. Your email is recruiters@elite.com. But I should just, I noticed a typo with recruiters, RECRUITERS. Typical spelling, you've got a few digits flipped around there.
Yeah, it's the I should say it's the correct spelling of recruiters. Alternatively, you can reach me directly, which that group email only goes to me and one other person anyway. But you can reach me directly at just TRASCH@elite.com. So it's just my first initial and last name at Elite as well, if you want to take me directly. But yeah.
Great. Good. Thank you. Yeah, and I've posted the WebEx along with the telephone number that people can join at 3:30 when we're all finished if you want to talk more with Troy. Thanks so much for being on and talking about energy. It sounds really exciting. Yeah. Good. Now we're going to switch gears and invite Vance Oakstad with Cirrus Aircraft in the Duluth Superior area to talk. Welcome, Vance.
Liz, thank you so much for having me today. I appreciate it so much.
Go ahead.
All right. So Cirrus Aircraft, what Cirrus Aircraft in Duluth, Minnesota really is an aircraft manufacturer. If you haven't heard of us, we're based out of the Duluth, Minnesota area. That's our headquarters. And this first slide is just to show one of the special awards of how big this company is in the general aviation market. The Collier Trophy there is like the Super Bowl trophy of aviation awards. And Cirrus won that award 2 years ago for that plane that's in the background, that Vision Jet aircraft. We are a leader in the market of small personal aircraft, and they're built right here in Duluth, Minnesota. So it's really an exciting company to work for, but it's kind of just really interesting to see how big Cirrus is in that market. So if we can go to the next slide. There we go. Just for those who don't realize what we do in Duluth there, we have multiple locations out of Grand Forks, North Dakota, Knoxville, Tennessee, McKinney, Texas. But Duluth is our home, and this is where the company started when it became time to start building aircraft. And it's just a wonderful place. The location was chosen because it matched the values of our co-founders in an essence of a very outdoors type city, and a place that had a very friendly environment and where they wanted to build the company. So that's kind of the story behind where it kind of came from and who we are and why we chose Duluth as our headquarters location for the company. Next slide, please. So who are we? So when we ask ourselves, how do we talk about who we are? The type of workers that work at Cirrus are really, as it states there, a family comprised of leaders, innovators, and go-getters. We're a pretty fast-paced company. We are leading edge in front of the market. We try to do whatever we have to stay in front of the market. We celebrate a lot. Behind the individual in red there is a picture of our company getting around a plane that symbolized a certain thousand amount of aircraft. We're coming up on 8,000 aircraft that we've produced of the piston aircraft. And that's the type of company we are, is we like to have fun. We like to change the world, and then along the way, make a little money is kind of the old mantra of our co-founder. Next slide, please. So what kind of opportunities does Cirrus offer? Well, our primary goal, half of our company in Duluth manufactures the aircraft. So they spend a lot of time building the aircraft to the customer specs. We have about 500-600 workers alone that are in the facility at all times to just manufacture the plane from start to finish. When it leaves the facility, it goes to Knoxville, Tennessee, and that's where it's delivered directly to the customer. It is a complete aircraft when it leaves Duluth. So what does the other half of our company do? We have about 1,000 workers at our Duluth facility. Well, they support our headquarters operations. They have from human resources, other administrative responsibilities such as IT or accounting. The other bulk is our engineering staff. So all the innovation that goes into building the aircraft is designed, developed, and engineered out of Duluth, Minnesota. So we have many different disciplines of engineers that support that effort, from design all the way through testing, and also the future development of our products. Next slide. One of the unique things Cirrus does offer is a progression, education on site, and the ability to make more money based on that capability. So on the very far left of your screen there, it says Technician Specialist QA Progression. We've mapped out a bunch of different opportunities for people to start at an entry level, no aviation experience, and grow in pay, experience, and capability all the way up just within our technician range to be able to gain further experience and capability through our different Cirrus University courses or experiential learning that we have there. We've done this actually for all our different disciplines, from engineers to human resources, so that people can see what their progression is internally, so they can understand their opportunity to grow within the organization. Not everybody comes from an aviation background, and we have created paths for people to gain that experience. And next slide. The other unique thing that we offer at Cirrus is the ability to learn to fly. So the picture of the plane there is our actual Duluth, Minnesota flying club plane. Our employees have the opportunity to learn how to fly, to gain that aviation experience at a very reduced rate. It's very economical to be able to do that. Cirrus actually subsidizes the cost of learning to fly. And we have these aircraft at our different facilities. We actually have multiple in our club so that people can take their families to be able to go where they want for, let's say, a weekend getaway at a very reasonable rate. Very unique thing that Cirrus can offer. And one more slide, please. So I think this is coming to the end. You know, Cirrus is growing right now. We have probably close to 100 openings at Cirrus across all our facilities, from engineering, manufacturing, quality, administration, and into our engineering design area. This would be the area where we do research and development. Many different opportunities that we're currently offering right now as we prepare to enter 2021. Cirrus is in a growth state right now. We didn't know how COVID was going to impact the company, and we're at a stage where we're actually selling more aircraft than we were pre-COVID, in a very unique scenario for us to be in. You can go to cirrusaircraft.com/careers to find out more details, or if you had any questions, you could go to DLH Jobs. You could email dlhjobs@cirrusaircraft.com to get more info as well.
Thanks, Vance.
Questions, yeah.
I posted your DLH Jobs email address in the Q&A, so everyone can grab that and email if they have questions too. One question that came through the Q&A are any of the engineering positions part-time? Do you ever have any flex opportunities?
So that's not a normal scenario for us, but I can tell you that we do have people that have had part-time roles based on their life changed. So with COVID, a lot of things had to be understood on how to accommodate people's at-home situations, and we've had some individuals go to part-time based on that need as we reviewed the situation specifically for them. But not very often do we post a part-time role in our engineering area.
Sure, good. Okay, one very brief question before we move on. How crucial is aircraft industry experience for applicants to administrative positions?
So I will say that's probably the area that requires the least amount of connection regarding aviation experience specifically. I would say most of our hires do not come from an aviation background. If it's a specific career that requires aviation experience, then of course, yes, we have to maintain that responsibility and find that experience. But for most hires that we do, their aviation connection is actually fairly limited, and we have a program in place to teach them what they need to know to be successful.
Good, that's clear. Well, thank you so much for being here today. To everyone on the call, I have posted the link to join Vance at 3:30 to ask more questions. And that same link was also in the email that I send out to all of you when I sent the link for this event. So you can grab it there. So please join Vance at 3:30 and talk more.
Thank you.
I'd like to now welcome Reddy Bolanani with 22nd Century Technologies.
Liz, thanks so much
Hi.
for joining us here today. Good afternoon. This is Reddy. I lead the state and local practice for 22nd Century Technologies. We are representing here actually to see if there are any interested candidates to work with us to join our workforce and in the state of Minnesota for various contracts we have with the state. I'm going to briefly explain who we are, what we do, and what sort of opportunities we have right now in the state, and we'll take any questions you guys may have. Like I said, we started off as a technology company in 1997, so it's been 23 years of successful journey so far. We primarily are a government contractor, work primarily with the governments, a lot with the federal and the state governments. We do business in all the 50 states, and we do have contracts, for 280 contracts in all levels of government, either state level, county level, city level, or with independent agencies also. As of this year, we have, our family has expanded, professional family has expanded significantly, and we are at almost 6,000 employees this year. While COVID has displaced many of the jobs, temporary jobs and permanent jobs, fortunately, we were so fortunate enough to hire those employees, trying to contribute some way or the other to the economy. That's the first slide. It shows some high-level statistics about who we are, our presence, and what values is the revenue of our company so far. Liz, next. Thank you. I'm just going to give you some highlights of a healthcare specialty. So we represent different areas of staffing, meaning anyone who's interested to work with us in the areas of administrative, clerical, professional, light industrial, IT, healthcare, pretty much anything that falls under the belt of staffing. We are accepting applications, and we actually do have jobs in the state of Minnesota right now to provide some sort of support currently. But right now, one of the major staffing crunches that we are facing and trying to support the state is in the field of healthcare. With COVID cases being on the rise, state has reached out to us, and we have signed the contracts with the state, to provide them temporary staff in the areas of administrative, logistic, and healthcare workers. So our healthcare domain has expanded significantly in the past 7 years, and right now we staff pretty much everything that falls under the healthcare branch, meaning temporary staffing, per diem, temp to permanent positions, and travel position staffing. In fact, the administrative positions we have fall under our healthcare contracts, and they come with a lot of perks that we could offer to the candidates. And this slide just briefly describes of our presence and how we are serving different states in the industry of healthcare. This has some of the contracts that we have with the state of Minnesota. We work a lot with the Twin Cities, Ramsey County, Hennepin County, Veteran Affairs, Department of Corrections, Department of Health, Department of Human Services. We have a statewide temporary staffing services contract that is currently being utilized across the state by many different several agencies to procure non-IT healthcare administrative staff. Perks being offered with 22nd Century is attractive incentives and salary packages. Everything is written. We are fully transparent in the way we communicate with our employees. We have clear line of communication at all levels. Anything that we mention to you is written in writing to you guys. Also, it states in the contract with the state, so we are mandate. It's our compliance to meet those requirements, either in terms of salary, incentives, or reimbursements for your travel if you're willing to work outside of your home city. We have attractive and subsidized health insurance policies that we offer to our employees, which is pretty much less, which costs less than the open market rates. Our onboarding process is very simple. It takes less than 30 minutes for any employee who accepts employment with us. takes pretty much less than 30 minutes to complete their entire process. So no hassle of signing, printing documents, scanning, and sending it out. We send you a secure link, and everything is fillable online. You just sign up with us, and that's pretty much it. And one last thing, Liz, if you could go back to the previous slide. Sorry. Thank you. And one advantage definitely is our accessibility at any given point of time to a dedicated person who will be your main POC to discuss employment opportunities or anything related to benefits within the company. They're a call away. And engagement, statewide contracts and multiple engagements with the state allows us to hold your contracts and hold your employment with us for a longer time and longer duration. So we have contracts and we have employment opportunities anywhere between ranging from 2 weeks to 6 months and 1 year also. So if one short-term engagement is completed, we might have something else coming up pretty much soon for you to jump on it. So yeah. Next slide, Liz. This gives you some information on what sort of jobs we are hiring for. Like I said, we are hiring for healthcare, administrative, light industrial professionals, and pretty much to work across different facilities maintained and run by the Department of Human Services and the Department of Health throughout the state. So all the attendees, if you are from different parts of the state, and not just the Twin Cities or the metro area, please feel free to apply. Visit our website over there that gives a broad spectrum of who we are. And one of the major contracts, the short-term engagement we're hiring right now, is to support the Department of Human Services with surge staffing. Gives you the details and the ability to apply directly online over there. And for all other Minnesota jobs, please feel free to email us at mnjobs@tscti.com. So just highlight the position that you're interested in the subject line, and our account managers or contract representatives will reach out to you to discuss more about the existing opportunities we may have. And our account manager is Nick, and he manages pretty much all the contracts in the state of Minnesota. Unfortunately, he was unable, due to scheduling conflicts, he was unable to join the call. But otherwise, one of the team members will reach out to you if you send us an email that you're interested in working with us.
Reddy, one quick question before we move on. We're almost out of time here. Is even with all of like project manager or admin positions, do they all require a healthcare background?
No, they don't necessarily require anything, except unless if you're a CNA, registered nurse, or an LPN. Like I said, we have administrative staff that doesn't require any certifications at all. So even if you are a student, intern who's trying to look for a part-time job, pretty much anyone with any background, we do have opportunities right now for you.
That's great. Thank you. And thank you for being here today. I mean, surge staffing for the COVID pandemic right now is so critical. So I'm so glad that you were able to highlight some of these openings. I've posted your MN Jobs email address and your careers page or your website in the Q&A so people can pick it up off of that. I'd like to now move on and welcome Betsy Clausen of General Mills in the Chanhassen location. Betsy, good morning, or good afternoon, Betsy.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Liz. I really appreciate the introduction. So hello, everyone. You can go to the next slide. My name is Betsy. I'm the HR manager at the Chanhassen plant for General Mills, and excited to kind of talk through the opportunities that we have. So hopefully everyone is familiar with General Mills. you know, we have a lot of brands that come along, Pillsbury, Annie's, Chex Mix, Fruit by the Foot, Blue Buffalo, but just a lot of great brands that come along with General Mills, and I'm sure some of them you may have even never heard of or didn't know were part of the General Mills family. So we're a global food company, and we really live by the mission of serving the world by making food that they love. And so I'm going to be talking through the jobs that make the food that people love. Our plants are where we actually, of course, make the food, and that is what I'm here to talk about, the jobs and career opportunities that we have. So next slide, perfect. Oh, go back to the last one. Yeah, perfect. All right, so inclusion is at our core. So people are absolutely the most important part of General Mills. It makes us who we are, the culture that we have, and inclusion is a huge part of that, not just kind of the primary areas of gender, race, but it's really about cultural diversity. So preferences, beliefs, communication style, and it's just really at the core of what we believe in. And there's a lot of opportunities for employees to be able to be involved and be able to have conversations about topics that are important to each and every one. And then, you know, it's important to note on the bottom, just General Mills has really consistently earned some really prestigious employer awards that really recognize that we treat employees with care, and that truly employees are at the heart of General Mills. So specifically the Chanhassen plant, so we are a convenience and food service baking facility. So that means that we make products that go to, think of kind of the big box places like a Sam's Club and convenience stores. And then we also do have a retail line as well with product that you would see at your grocery stores. But we have kind of what's unique about us is that we can make over 100 different products. So we kind of can tailor the different items that we make for our different customers. So it's something that's really unique about the Chanhassen plant. We have 350 employees at the site, and everyone, we have about 10 different production lines that all make different product, and then of course multiple different products for each of the lines too. And then just a really important note that, you know, our values for General Mills is do the right thing all the time, play to win as a team, grow and inspire, act boldly, move quickly, just really things that are important. And I'd say that the do the right thing is something that comes into play and is very important. And ultimately, you know, our plant wins through teamwork, collaboration, and we really are very goal oriented, always working to kind of meet the goals of our customers, of the business, and it's a fun, fast place to work. Just a little bit more about working at Chanhassen. So we are a production facility. So the roles that I'm talking about today are our production positions. So you can kind of expect, you know, standing, lifting, kind of, you know, thinking about lifting big buckets of flour or sugar, all the delicious things that go into creating biscuits and scones, and then standing as well. And of course, we're a bakery, so sometimes it's hot or dusty with the flour. So just something to note about kind of what it feels like to work in a food manufacturing facility. And then here is kind of a highlight of the three positions that we kind of have. There's multiple openings for the production technician role. But so for our production technicians, that's more of a operations role. You'd be kind of positioned on a specific line, provided full training to be able to fully work in your role and get that training and certification. We have day and night shift openings. So these are 12-hour positions, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. or 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. The really great thing about our schedule for this role is that you can see your schedule for the entire year. It's posted, so you'll know exactly what days you need to be at work, and you have that kind of locked in schedule. Starting rate is listed there, and then after your 90 days, you're at the full $22.28 an hour. We do, of course, have a shift differential as well. And then for this position, we have a preference for manufacturing experience, but it's not necessarily required for these roles. There is some training involved in them, which is helpful. And then our other role is a logistics technician. This one, after orientation, $22.90 an hour. We currently have night shift open. It's an 8-hour role, and then we do require some forklift experience for this one. And then a maintenance technician, nights, 12 hours, starting rate at the $24.71, and then it does bump up after 18 months or based on experience to $30.89, and we do require maintenance experience. And then something just exciting about these ones is that we're currently offering a $500 sign-on bonus. So $300 paid your first week, and then $200 paid on day 90. So we're excited about that. So benefits, most benefits are available day one: health insurance, dental, vision, 3 weeks of vacation. Day one, you also have an additional 48 hours of kind of an emergency pay. We offer 401k matching, kind of as it mentioned before, great place to work for parents. 18 weeks of paid maternity leave, 12 weeks of paid paternity leave. There's also a bonus that's paid out twice a year, as well as part of the compensation package. And then, if you're a great employee, we know that you also have others who are great to refer, so a $300 referral bonus is offered as well. And again, most of these benefits are day one and available to folks, even the paternity and maternity leave. So here's how to apply. Go to careers.generalmills.com and you can search for production, and then the location is Chanhassen, and then you'll see the 3 postings that we have. You'll complete, kind of the first step is complete the application, complete the online assessment, and then an invitation to interview will follow. So we have the first round interview is a recorded kind of record as you're available at home. And then the second round would be a live interview, virtual, of course, with a manager here at the plant. So if you have any questions, here's the contact information. Again, my name is Betsy. I'm the HR manager. I've been at General Mills for 2 years, all at Chanhassen, and I truly cannot speak to just what a great place to work it is. Even through COVID, we've been able to have great kind of engaging activities for folks, and also have maintained a really safe environment for people, because employee safety is truly the most important thing to us. So just excited to be able to talk about it. And again, this is just a list of the jobs that we have posted and available.
Thank you, Betsy. I've put your email in the Q&A area. We do have a couple of questions. We're not going to have time for all of them, but can you just talk a little bit about all of the other COVID safety procedures that you've been doing in the interview process and then in the onboarding and working environment?
Yes, absolutely. Yes, we have a lot of COVID safety protocols. We've partnered with the Minnesota Department of Health to be able to make sure our practices are, above what they need to be. And we also have a physician who also consults with General Mills to be able to provide guidance. So we require face masks at all time. We also require social distancing, which is absolutely something that is possible to do within the work. So social distancing, masks, we do a temperature check prior to entering the building. We also offer paid COVID leave. So if anyone were to be ill, there's no sort of repercussion for employment. You're absolutely protected in that way. And for hiring, we do a social distanced new hire orientation class. So we're able to sit in a room, but everyone's masked and distanced in that room. So we just have limits on the number of people that we're able to bring in at a time, but we absolutely are still bringing in new hire classes. And we have one this coming Monday, and we had one earlier in November as well. And we're bringing in new hire classes about once a month right now. And again, all done through safety precautions.
Great. Thank you. I do have to move on, but Betsy, maybe you could answer a couple of the questions that have come in specifically addressed to you. You could put the answers into the Q&A area, or people can email you the answers. So thank you for being on the call today. We're going to move on to invite the team from Westapp. And I know they work in the same Chanhassen area. So welcome, Westapp team.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Liz. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, you're great.
All right. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mike Lillema. I'm the franchise owner of Westapp. I'm also joined here with Ryan Sheldon, who is our on-site manager. And proud to say that we are a partner with General Mills here in the Chanhassen area, and do a primary recruiting for entry-level specific positions on the production side of the General Mills facility here. And we are a roadmap to how individuals with limited skills or limited background could have opportunities to work with a great company like General Mills and gain the experience that they may need to eventually move into a full-time role. So that's kind of Westapp. We're limited on our partnerships, but we chose and were and chosen by General Mills to help partner and help with the hiring process, again, especially on the entry level side of individuals. We can move to the next slide here. And mine's a little bit slower. We're having a little bit of internet issues here today.
So I've got the About Westapp slide up. Why don't you just go ahead and talk about it?
Yeah, so Westapp has been around since the early 1950s. We are a staffing agency, but we are part of the largest Employee Bridge family, which is the largest staffing firm in the country, in the United States here on the industrial side. I service all of my Westapp franchises, service all of Minnesota and greater Minnesota here, and have well over, like I said, 50 years. I've been in the staffing industry for about 25 years now, and then again, 500 locations throughout the United States. Our job is not just to place people anywhere. Our job is to try and partner with some of the best companies around the country, including General Mills, and help them, especially on the entry level side, to gain that work experience that individuals that may not have any work experience, give them an opportunity to get into the workforce and build their skills. And we can go on to the next one.
Go ahead.
Okay. And again, I apologize. We're still having a little bit of, here, I'm going to bring up my own. I apologize. So, what we provide for our associates, so anybody that is working through Westapp, we have opportunities to working with recruiter to help out mapping. Our recruiters help map out a workforce path, basically. Again, from that very entry level with individuals that may not have any work experience, and we help kind of try and drive where they want to go and where they want to pick up experience or what experience would be fitting for them. And that's where we kind of specialize. We have the access, for individuals who are trying to get to work faster. We can usually get through our hiring process in about, again, anywhere from 1 to 2 days, and have them working within 3 days of their actual interview. We do we have a direct deposit, pay card. We have all the processes in place that can that make life easier for those individuals looking to get to work fast. And as we go to the next slide, one of the things that we've identified, even for entry-level individuals, and this is for our job seekers that we really try to stress, is that even if you are coming in entry level and you have limited work history, Westapp and our parent Employee Bridge provides what we call it's titled the Better Work Life Academy. This is, as you're working for us, you have free access to classes and courses through Penn and Foster, which are accredited across the United States, free of charge. So we can, I mean, there's a variety of different skill paths that we can help individuals go down and help them become more valuable in the workforce, even as they're working for us immediately. And as we scroll through to the next one, you can see there's a list of just some of the basic classes that individuals can take while they're working for Westapp here at General Mills as well. And it just goes through, again, helping individuals from that very entry level to finding them a path to more stable work environments or work opportunity. And then in the last here, again, if individuals are interested in working in the Chanhassen area, especially here at General Mills, Ryan Sheldon is going to be, he is our on-site manager. I'm very willing to, again, to talk over the different types of positions that we do hire for here at General Mills. Just give him a call or send him an email. It's a very simple process, and we can move it forward and help people gain the experience that they want to move into a better career as they move forward. That's what I have.
I love the information about helping people increase their skills. A person doesn't always think of a staffing agency as engaging with clients on that, but I just think that is just so smart. So kudos to Westapp for doing that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, Morgan was able to join. She is a coworker of the team here at Westapp. Morgan, is there anything that you want to add?
No, I think Mike covered it. Well done. Thank you.
Good, good. Yeah, so feel free, anyone, to put questions in the Q&A. You know, I think everything is pretty self-explanatory for Westapp. You know, I think the good news is the relationship between a staffing agency and the company, in most of the cases where I've seen this, is that, you know, if a person doesn't have any work experience or kind of a modeled experience, you know, here and there, going with the staffing agency, getting them into the entry level, and then proving yourself, then you're ready to go on and be hired for another position directly with the company. Would that be a good assessment, folks?
Yeah, absolutely. Liz, this is Mike again with Westapp, and that's one of the reasons. And again, because of, I mean, first of all, General Mills is an outstanding. I mean, it's a wonderful company, and I think you heard Betsy talk about some of the things that they offer for their full-time employees. And for those that may not meet the exact hiring criteria that they need immediately, coming through Westapp or an agency as ours, where we can help build them and maybe move them down the career path to being hired, you know, or being a candidate that could be hired directly by General Mills. And that's where we come in, and really trying to leverage, you know, what they would like to do with are the tools that are available to us and to our employees to try and make them or give them an opportunity to move forward in life as well.
That's great. Well, thank you so much for being on the call, and thank you to all of our companies today. Elite, Cirrus, 22nd Century Technologies, General Mills, and Westapp. You know, all of the information is so helpful, and it kind of demystifies what people are hiring for. I want to just move ahead and do a little bit of a career force announcements. We are planning to hold a few online orientations for people who are new to career force. Maybe you like, how does the system of career force across the state work? What could they really help me with the job seekers as a job seeker? I don't have an exact date yet, but sometime in December we'll be scheduling something. So please watch the virtual and interactive services for career seekers page for that information. And then I will be holding webinars like this, virtual career fairs on December 7th and 14th before taking a break over the new year for a couple of weeks. I'm working on the schedule, so keep an eye on that virtual interactive page too, and that's where I'll post the information when I have it. Time is running out for all Minnesotans to register for Coursera account. Register by December 31st and get access to free classes online through March 31st. So, hey, perfect thing to do all winter long. And you'll even get the certificate of completion at no cost, as long as you register through the portal on careerforcemn.com before December 31st. So go do that and have something to get you through the winter. As usual, you know that I will be, I am recording this and then we'll be posting it onto YouTube. So you can access any number of recordings for companies that have attended any of my virtual career fairs or some of my colleagues from across the state: Winona, St. Cloud, Brainerd, Bemidji, and Duluth, more locations than that. As usual, follow Career Force on your favorite social media for all of the latest information, and please reach out to me if you have questions. I'm always willing to respond to you via email. Thank you for being on the call today, and I'll be sending out the information. Have a good afternoon, and I will make sure to I will resend via email the links to join Cirrus and Elite right now on their links. It's in the Q&A right now. I'll leave this open for a minute and I'll send it out via email one more time to you. So please join them right now and talk more. Thanks a lot for being here. Bye-bye.